Well, what is going on YouTube? My wife always makes fun of me for the way I say that. I hope you guys are having a good day. I know I am. I got something new on the table from the folks at Kansept. This is a 2021 release. This Matt Degnan design is the Kansept Stellar, and I wish it was bigger. It's a small knife. It is a very well-made small knife. It is S35VN. It is all titanium running on bearings. It has a very interesting pocket clip, which we will get to in just a minute. It is a frame lock, as you can see. We're locked up at just about 50%. And it came right from the folks at Kansept, just dead centered. Man, this is a great knife in that regard. The fit and finish on Kansept stuff is really very good. This is no exception. I was very excited when I heard they were doing a Degnan design because one of my all-time favorite knives is this. This is the Kaiser Roach, which is also a Degnan design. And I was very much hoping that we were going to get something along the same lines. Not the same design, clearly, but I was hoping it was going to be similar in size. But he decided to make a smaller knife for them. Women Carry Knives loves this thing because it is right up her alley size-wise. This is a fantastic pocket knife, but we're going to put it away for now. The Stellar here is, as I said, it is small. It is, in fact, just dead on, 7 inches long. You get 3 inches of cutting on 3 inches of S35VN. The grip area is, well, it's 2.5 inches to this line and 3 1/4 all the way out to the end. And I need the whole knife when I'm holding on to it, right? So it really is a 3-finger knife for me. But, you know, as a small knife for lightweight clothes, this thing is pretty darn good. And of course, look at the blade, right? It's kind of a warny. It's got a great flat edge to it. It is exceptionally good cutter. It comes down to a very nice edge. Some of the Kansept knives that I've had have been a little thick behind the edge. This is not one of those. This is a very slicey blade. And of course, this blade shape lends itself to everything that you want to do in the day, except perhaps food prep. But even then, because of the way it's shaped, you can almost get the whole knife down on the table. So if you were going to slice up some onions, you could do it. You'd want to do draw cuts with it, right? But, oh, look at that. It is very sharp. Whew. I like it. I like the way it's made. I love the shape of it. I just, for me and my hands, of course, I wish it was just a little bigger. But that's okay. The action is, well, just very good. And its deployment method is this flipper tab, which is flat, follows the line, actually beautifully follows the shape of the knife here really well. Degnan designs beautiful knives. There's just no question. But the flipper is deployed from up top. So it's a light switch. And of course, it snaps open really well. And the reason they did that is so that it's not sticking out down here. And I like that. I think it's a cool design aesthetic, and I think it's a really cool way to open the knife. It is the only way to open the knife. It is a single form of deployment, but it works every single time. And even when I do it really soft, let's try. Yeah, I can't fail this. I also can't shake it out, which is really nice. So the detent is done very, very well. But you know what? That's a Kansept thing. Their knives are really, really well done. Now, it has a full tie backspacer, as you can see, which comes down, gives you a little protection here from maybe poking yourself on the blade when it's closed. 2 body screws and a single pivot, right? The pocket clip is screwed up from inside the titanium scale on this side, so there's no screw to look at, which is really nice. And it follows the swell of the knife really, really nicely. It has great ramp. You can see, it gets in and out of pants really easily. Both sides, the ramp is done really well. And of course, it's got good springs, so it's not too tight, but tight enough to hold the knife right where you want it. The frame lock is very well done. It doesn't look like you've got a lot of access, but I have never had a problem closing this knife. It just, I think because of the width of it or the way they did it, and it's chamfered on this side, you just get your thumb right here, and down you go. Works really well. You got a little jimping right here on the blade, which is great for your thumb. And considering where you're going to have to put your finger, even me with my big hands, it isn't exactly the right spot. And that's a really nice touch. Because of the swell back here, even though it is very small for me, it is a 3-finger knife, I am still locked in very well, right? It doesn't want to wiggle, doesn't want to rock in the hand, which is really important. I'm going to do a comparison, and then we're going to talk about that a little bit. So I know the Bug Out is one of the world's most popular knives, and I get it. It is attractive. It's very lightweight. It's a great blade shape. But in my hand, and I can get all 4 fingers on the Bug Out, of course, because of how thin it is back here, it wiggles in my hand a little bit when I use it. And that's just because of its very, very small design. That's what it's built for, and I understand that. But what I'm getting at is this is a very small knife as well, but because of the swell back here, it locks in very nicely. Well, we've got it out. Let's do the size comparison. It is rare that I have a knife that is smaller on the table than a Bug Out, but there you go. Right? It is much smaller than a Bug Out. But you get the same amount of cutting edge as you do on the Bug Out. So Bug Out's got more handle, but not more blade. And this is S35VN. And if you like the Wharncliffe style blade, and I do, sort of a Wharncliffe-y, sheep's footy thing, this is a great worker. I love flat edge knives like this. I mean, okay, my personal preference is for knives with more belly, but I absolutely understand the point and purpose of flat knives like this. If you're cutting media, a nice flat edge so you're not wiggling the knife around makes a ton of sense. It's also really good for draw cuts because of that. And because there's no flipper tab, you can get it almost flat on the table. Almost. So even for food prep, you're going to be putting the handle down just about when you do that. Not quite, right? But you could even chop up some onions, like I said, or, you know. It is a very versatile knife, even though it is sort of small. I love the design aesthetic of it. I wish they would make an extra large version of this. I would absolutely rush right out and buy one for myself. Let's get some other specs out of the way. Again, 7 inches. Yeah, I mean, it's a really nicely sized knife, particularly for people that don't have bigger pockets. As I said, Women Carry Knives loves this thing because it fits in her jeans. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, women's jeans have the most ridiculous pockets you can possibly imagine. They are short, often they're even fake. So a shorter knife like this with a really good clip means that Women Carry Knives can carry this thing very comfortably. So if you've got someone in your life that has, you know, that sort of a situation going on, this is a really good alternative in high-end materials and really well made. Let's go ahead and weigh it. Now it is full tie, and it is milled a little bit on the inside. There's actually a fair amount of milling in there, so let's see where the weight comes out to. 3.5 for a, 3-inch blade. Not bad for a full tie knife. This is well done, folks at Kansept. Truly well done. Let's go ahead and use our magic calipers here. Oops, sorry about that. The blade itself is a really nice, right back here at the thickest spot, is just under 3 millimeters on my calipers, so it's probably 3 millimeters out there in the world. Yeah, my calipers are being weird. So it's 3 millimeters of S35VN, and because it's only got a little tiny flat up here, it's got lots of room to come down, as I said, to a very nice edge. The handle itself, now it is slab-sided, it's not rounded, but everything is chamfered. I did want to point that out. Even back here at this little point, nothing is sharp on this knife, except the edge, which is exactly what you want. We are at 11 millimeters, which is, right, 1/4 inch. So under 1/2 inch, that's really nice. We're coming up on a 1/2 inch, 0.4. Not bad. It is a good carry, as I've mentioned a couple of times. So what's the final analysis on the Kansept Stellar? Well, although it is too small for me to carry regularly, it is very well made, it is comfortable for what it is, and it has a great design aesthetic. I mean, look at this. In the pocket, we're just a hair over, 1.25 inches up here at the fattest point. It is a very light and easy carry. Kansept continues to produce very well-made knives. I have never had a problem with one of their knives, although some of their earlier stuff was a little thick behind the edge. If this is an indication of where they're going, I am very happy with it, and I think you would be too if you're looking for a smaller knife that is very, not only cool to look at, but good to use. And that is where we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is the Kansept Stellar. I really appreciate Kansept Knives for sending this my way. I will put a link in the description for where you can find Kansept knives if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.